Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and then, of course, tonight we are joined by none other than, that's right, the Vic, Hates, Tomlin, and Smith. But we call her the Vic. So how are you doing tonight, Vic?
I am fan-friggin-tastic.
All right. And then, of course, we're also joined by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, J-Mac, the bearded one. How are you doing tonight?
In his own mind.
I'm doing good.
Oh, I have hiccups.
Yeah, we are ready to get this thing kicked off and ready to get this rocking and rolling. We have some awesome topics for you tonight. I'm sure Big B will be joining us here within any time. He actually was at a baseball game tonight watching it, went to extra innings. So with that, anyways, so everybody pretty much knows kind of what we do on Wednesday. We always break down some top 5 lists that we have going on. And so tonight we have one of those awesome top 5 lists. And I know Vic, for one, was so thrilled about it. You were like so entirely thrilled about it when we came in and we were talking about.
I took a Xanax before this to calm down.
Well, right, because you were just so incredibly excited about coming in and talking about the top 5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time.
You found my weakness.
Oh, absolutely. So with that, though, here's the thing. Because I don't want you to be disappointed, so because I don't want to disappoint you, I'm going to allow you to go first on your top 5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time.
I planned and researched and dug deep for these, so just be aware. And just for a record, Tom Brady, not on my list.
Okay.
All right. All right. We're going to go with number 5, Rondé Barber. I just think it's a really cool name. Okay. He was there for maybe like 15 years, I think he played. I don't know if all of that. He went to 5 Pro Bowls, 47 interceptions, 28 sacks. He also made the biggest play in Tampa Bay Bucs history. He intercepted a pass and ran it back for a touchdown in the Super Bowl, which they won. I like that team much better than I like last year's team. All right. Number 4, Hardy Nickerson. Nickerson. He's a linebacker. A little defense on this. Came from Pittsburgh as a free agent because I hate the Steelers. I just wanted to throw that in there. Tony Dungy got him, groomed him, turned him into just a beast on the defensive side of the football. Named a member of the 90s All-Decade defensive team. He was the OG.
The OG.
The original gangsta.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with John Lynch. He was a Buck for 10 years before he sold out and joined the 49ers. Well, he didn't do it right away, but I mean, you know what I mean. But he was pretty good. I'd say he was pretty good, right? He was all right. 2 first-team All-Pro selections. Played in 164 games, 6 starts with 132. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I just said. I'm just rambling. 6 interceptions, whatever, 23, whatever. John Lynch. Number 2, this was rough because I don't really like him as a person, but he was a badass on defense. Warren Sapp. Biggest trash talker ever. But he backed it up, and if you can back up the talk, more power to you. NFL Defensive Player of the Year in '99, back when defense was nasty. The '90s football compared to today's football is just a total different beast. I went mostly defense on my list. I just realized that. Number 1, and he was a legit OG, Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks. No, that's
Derek
actually a really good
Brooks.
pick. I do like that.
All-time leader in tackles and forced fumbles, 5th in interceptions. Even as a linebacker, he was 5th in interceptions. First ballot Hall of Famer, led the Bucs to the Super Bowl title in 2003. So yeah, Derek Brooks, number 1. My whole top 5 was defense. That's the first time it's ever happened. Honorable mention was Mike. Honorable mention I'm going to give to Mike Evans, who's an offensive guy. He's just he's a Megatron in a different state.
All right. J-Mac. We get to go to your top 5 list here of all time for Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't completely disagree with Vic's list, but I do have a couple of people that she didn't. You might be kind of surprised with some of the things that I researched for this, because I researched hard. I researched for hours to find 5.
Was it that hard to come up with Buccaneers? Was it that hard to come up with Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
No, it's called a Google search, and you just look up like the best 10 Buccaneers, and you pick 5. But I did have to pick my 5 out of those, and I do have the way I feel about these. So my number 5 is Mike Allstott, called the A Train. He spent his entire 12-year career with the Buccaneers. He holds the team record, by the way, with 71 career touchdowns. A lot of people don't know that about Mike Allstott, but he has the Buccaneers record with 71 touchdowns. He was big in his day. Remember when fullbacks actually ran the ball and did something? Yeah. Or fullbacks were still in the game. The A Train was probably the best of all of them, by the way. Number 4 is in the backfield again, James Wilder. Now, he played 9 seasons with the Buccaneers. He is the team's all-time career-leading rusher with 5,957 yards and 37 touchdowns. Up until Mike Evans broke the record, he actually led the Buccaneers' career with receptions as well. So James Wilder was a very good player when he was there. A lot of people forget about him because he played in 81 through 89. But again, he's still the team's leading rusher to this day. So it's been 89 and now 32 years. He's still the team's leading rusher. And a lot of people don't even know his name, but it's James Wilder. Number 3, John Lynch. He was just a beast. 5-time Pro Bowl selection, 2-time All-NFL. Defensive leader when they won the Super Bowl at the end of 2002. He played 11 seasons there. He only had 23 interceptions, but that's because he played in the backfield with a guy who's at number 2. And that guy would be, any guesses?
Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks, you got it.
Yeah.
Derek Brooks, he was defensive player of the year in 2002. He was an 11-time Pro Bowler, 9 times. He was first team All-Pro, 9 times. And they're talking about, and why is he not in the Hall of Fame yet? Do we know?
Because he's not Troy Aikman.
I mean, he played 95 to 2008. He's been out of the league for 13 years. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. That's crazy to me. And number 1 is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He'll be only the second guy in team history to have his jersey retired, and it'll happen on November 11th. Mr. Warren Sapp.
Oh, yeah. Warren
Sapp, 7 Pro Bowls in his 9 seasons with Tampa Bay. He's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He's, over 120 career sacks. The guy's just insane. He was good whenever he played any season. Honorable mention for me, I think Vic hit on it, was Rondé Barber. I think he was definitely, he could have been considered for the top 5, but I had to put Allstott and James Wilder in there just because, again, Allstott leads the team all time in, touchdowns, and Wilder does in rushing yards. So those are something to be said.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike Allstott was definitely one that I really had to put up in there. And that was basically because it's just like you were saying, when you thought about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before, Mike Allstott was basically a name that you thought about whenever we played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The one reason why I hated to play him was Mike Allstott on the offensive side. But then when you look at the defensive side, of course, you have two of the best Buccaneers of all time. You have Rodney Barber, you have Derek Brooks, you have Warren Sapp. Those four you definitely have to put up there. Number one, if you're going to throw in there, you can throw Brad Johnson in there. I'm just kidding. I was just completely kidding about Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson is one of those guys that, I know that, people could come out here and tell you have to put Brad Johnson in there because he won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. But was it really him that won the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers? No, Brad Johnson was like a product of a great defense, good offense minus him, though. Like, that team was just kind of loaded. But I don't know what your guys' thoughts were on Brad Johnson in total. Would you consider putting him as a top 10 even Buccaneer of all time?
No.
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 Yeah, to me, it doesn't matter if you win a Super Bowl or not. It really doesn't matter because, Tom Brady's been with Tampa Bay for 1 year and won a Super Bowl. Does that make him, a top 5? Does that make him the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneer of all time? Definitely not. Definitely not. You can't.
Pretty
You
freaking
can't
close.
do that. What?
I mean, it's as crappy as they've been for years. He's pretty close. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but and think about the amount of touchdowns he put up this year. He broke the franchise record with touchdowns in a season. So,
that's not real hard. By the way, just to mention how bad the Buccaneers have been, we talked about this on the Coast to Coast Bros on Monday, and who has the all-time franchise lead in touchdown passes, and it's Jameis Winston with 112.
yeah.
Who also leads in interceptions?
Who also leads in interceptions. By the way, Brady has 2.5 seasons. Like, if he has another season like last year and then another half a season, he'll break the franchise record for touchdown passes in 2.5 years. What does that tell you?
Nobody stays there long enough to get a lot of numbers.
Well, like I said, James Wilder leads the team in rushing yards. They came out as a team in 1976. And so 1976 to now, that's 45 years of a team, and their leading rusher for all-time franchise record doesn't even have 6,000 career yards.
Yeah, and they can't even keep running backs long enough too. They can't because who was there? We called him the muscle hamster. Who was
Dunn.
that? Yes.
Doug Martin.
No. Yes,
Doug Martin.
Doug Martin. The hamster. Yeah.
Hamster.
He was small. He was very, very tiny. And oh my gosh.
Is
So
Isaiah high?
Isaiah, see, the thing with Isaiah is Isaiah's already high on Trey Lance. If you got to watch Wild Sports Talk, he came out. Get this, he came out and was like, he gave Trey Lance a B- in his debut in the preseason when Trey Lance's numbers were 5 of 14 for 124 yards and a touchdown, but one of those passes was 80 yards. So you take that one pass away, and he had 48 yards. So. And he's asking me if he wants me to ship. No, I don't want your dang jersey up here, okay? I don't want a Trey Lance jersey. Jeez, but all right. Anyway, going back to what we were saying about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. J-Mac, you're right. Vic, you're right. Really, nobody really stays on Tampa Bay for very long. When you look at one of the best receivers of all time in Tampa Bay, you can throw Mike Evans in there. Mike Evans is probably close to the greatest Tampa Bay receiver of all time. So
I can't name another one, to be honest.
I believe
I can't.
I think Keenan McCardell was there for
I
a
don't know
while.
him. I don't know.
Yeah,
him.
and so, but yeah,
He was.
so-
That's where he started his career before he went to Jacksonville. He had better stats in Jacksonville than he did in Tampa Bay. But
yeah, I was saying
he
wasn't
was
well
good.
known.
He was good in Tampa Bay. Yeah.
But Mike Evans is definitely pretty much up there. All right, so now we can jump into our next topic of the night, which Vic, I know this one you're actually excited for, but you get to go. But you get to go second on this one.
Okay,
So
I'll wait.
Of course, J
Nobody
Mac,
better steal my number one, because I'm going totally biased on this. You know what's happening.
I figured you would. I figured you were going to go straight up bias on this one. I figured that there's no way you could.
But it's a legit biased.
So Isaiah's throwing, before we jump into the manager one, Isaiah's throwing Chris Godwin out there as one of the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers receivers of all time. Nah, not yet. I'm not going to say that. And really, you're already going with Trey Lance as your photo? All right, whatever. But J-Mac, I'm going to go to you. This topic starts with you, and this one is simply your top 5 best MLB managers of all time. Who is your top 5?
Hit it.
Number 5, I have his first name escaped me, and I have no idea why. Just now, too. Like I forgot to write it down. I had it all right here. But McGraw.
Tug.
There it is. Tug McGraw. Thank you. Tug McGraw was my number 5. My number 4. It was tough to find just 5. I have to say that. Like, it was really tough to just put 5 into a category. My number 4 is still managing to this day, Tony La Russa. I think Tony La Russa is a very good manager. I have him number 4 all time. Number 3 for me is Dusty Baker. Dusty's now taken 3 teams to the playoffs, made some deep runs with 3 different teams, so I think that's very, very good. Number 2, Sparky Anderson. He's the only manager to win a World Series in both leagues, and I think that's got to be tough to do. Think about all the managers have been out there, all the years this game has been around, and he's the only one to ever do that. So hats off to Sparky Anderson. And number 1, yes, I'm a homer. Yes, I'm biased. I understand. And yes, Vic, I'm probably taking your number 1, and I am sorry. But there's a reason for this. I got facts to back this up. I looked up today what they voted the top 5 pitching rotations of all time. Okay? They said the 1993 Atlanta Braves were number 5. The 1995 Atlanta Braves were number 3. And the 1998 Atlanta Braves were number 1. And they had one manager for all 3 of those teams, and that was Sir Bobby Cox. He managed a great team in the 90s, no doubt. Braves are the team of the 90s. That'll never be taken away from them. Bobby Cox is the greatest ever. He also got thrown out of a game more than anyone ever. I watched a highlight of him the other day, and it was a balls and a strikes call, and it was really borderline. I have to tell you, even as like a bystander, it could have gone either way. I'd have been happy if you called it a ball. I would have been happy if you called it a strike, because it's one of those that was right on the edge. Okay, and it was Greg Maddux pitching, and he ended up walking the guy, which we know Maddux didn't walk many guys. So Bobby Cox got really mad. He says something in the dugout. He gets to the top step. The umpire turns to him and says, "Bobby, just go to the showers. Don't even come out here. Just go." But Bobby, he went out there anyway and earned getting thrown out of the game.
Oh, yeah.
I know in the game tonight, Frenchie was talking about how Bobby Cox would tell him at the start of each season he just mailed a $20,000 check to cover all his ejections and fines for the year.
Right.
So we have a comment in the comment section here from Isaiah, and Isaiah saying Connie Mack, Billy Martin, Tony La Russa, Bobby Cox, and Charlie Manuel.
The only one I question out of that list is Charlie Manuel. I don't understand. Like I was like, I know who Charlie Manuel is. I just question whether he's a top 5 manager of all time.
No, he's a Philly fan, so that's why he's putting Charlie.
But
Manuel
the other 4, like
I
was saying, it was really hard. Yeah, I was saying it's really hard to put 5, because I could have put Connie Mack, Billy Martin in the conversation for the top 5 as well, because they're very, very good managers. So
sorry about your loss, Isaiah. Phillies lost to the D-backs. They're 3.5 back now.
Right. But that's my top 5.
That's a good top 5. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so Vic, you
Yes.
can go ahead and go to your top 5 now.
Okay, I'm gonna go Tony La Russa, number 5, just because Oakland. He had McGuire and Canseco and just and now he's in the White Sox. Was he somewhere? It was the Cardinals too. That's where he was. So he's had a pretty good track record. Number 4, Dusty Baker. Like J Mac said, he covered all the bases with that. Number 3, which I'm shocked that J Mac didn't come up with, was Bruce Bochy. He was, the Giants, 2012, 2014,
2016.
No, it was 2010, 2012, 2014.
Yeah, I was going to say it was every other year. I just
So, I
couldn't
mean,
remember if it was 10, 12, and 14.
You gotta-
or 12, 14, and 16. So, yeah.
That's 3 World Series titles in 4 years. That's pretty gnarly. Number 2 was a tie between Sparky Anderson and Tommy Lasorda. That was a tough one for me to make. I think they're both really awesome. I just like the name Sparky for some reason. And even though I hate the Dodgers, when Lasorda was manager and they had Steve Garvey or Ron Say, I grew up loving Steve Garvey. So I matured into a Braves fan.
Sorry, hold on, real quick, Vic. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have to say something about Isaiah's comment here. Isaiah, I understand that he went to 2 World Series and won one, but that doesn't make him a top 5 all-time manager.
No, there's lots of managers who have gone to the World Series. Does that make them a top 5 manager?
Bobby Cox went to 3 World Series. I'm just saying, like that puts him in over the top. Sparky Anderson did it in both leagues. He would be better than Charlie Manuel. So I respect your opinion, but I have to disagree. That's all. So
that's it. Respectfully disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Not even respectfully. I'll just flat out disagree.
You'll just flat out disagree.
I flat out disagree.
The funny thing about Bobby Cox when it comes to it, when you think about it, is that a lot of times people would say if he didn't get ejected for like multiple games, at some point he'd just do it just to stay in shape. Just to go out there so he could argue. Just to stay
I think he just got bored sometimes. It's like, I need to spice it up a little bit.
I think the funniest story I ever heard, I have to say, was told by John Smoltz when he was broadcasting a Braves game. And they're like, what was it like sitting there waiting for Bobby to explode? He's like, I was pitching in a game. I'm sitting in the dugout. Now, I got taken out in the 7th inning, and he forgets who the reliever was. He's like, one of the relievers is out there. And we're winning the game like 8-0, and we've given up 4 hits or something like that. But I had a high pitch count. And Bobby looks at me and he goes, those last 2 pitches were strikes. And honestly, they missed the plate by like 4 or 5 inches. Like they were way off the plate. And Bobby just looks at me and I'm like, Bobby, really? And he's like, it's 8-0. I don't got anything better to do. And he walks out there and argues with the umpire about balls that were actually balls and weren't even close to strikes, just because, like you said, he was bored because it was 8-0 and he didn't have anything else to do. And John Spolz tells that story, and you're like, that was Bobby Cox in a nutshell. He just got bored and went out there and got thrown out.
But I will say though, he's a manager that stuck up for his players all the time though. Like he's one of those managers that would immediately hop out there and protect his players. And that was one thing that I truly respected about Bobby Cox. But let me ask you guys this: with Joe Torre, how did you consider him as a top 5?
Nope, because he was a Yankee.
Because he was a Yankee. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want me to be honest, that's why.
I know, but J-Mac, would you be close to putting him in the top 5?
Yeah, probably 7 for me, Joe Torre.
And
can I give my number 1 now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did, and I'm assuming it's probably Bobby Cox.
Nope, Freddie Gonzalez.
I know you're joking.
Yeah, of course it's Bobby Cox. I mean, come on, the dude was just. There's never going to be another Bobby Cox ever. You know, he managed for 29 years. Started with the Braves in '78, went to Toronto for a few years, then came back in 1990, finished off as a Brave. 16 postseason appearances, 5 pennants, 1 World Series. I mean,
14 consecutive division titles at one point.
Nobody's ever going to touch that.
No one's going to touch those records. No.
That's solid. And, you know, like you were saying, he managed 3 of the best pitching staffs ever.
Ever.
And he did it with everyone behind him. He, like you said, he stuck up for them. You know, he wouldn't let anybody
by the way, just to talk a little more on that, Vic, about the three of the best pitching staffs ever. So not only were they voted 5-3-1, they said the '98 Atlanta Braves rotation, okay, in which Greg Maddux won the Cy Young. Do you know who finished second and third that year in the Cy Young voting? It was John Smoltz and Tom Glavine. Like, you have the top 3 pitchers in baseball in one season. No, you're telling me any team today will top that? They won't even come close.
No.
Well, welcome in, Big B. How's it going, Big B?
Brendan!
Well, going good. Just got home from an exciting AAA game. Too bad my Saints fell, but it was an exciting game. A lot of home runs, a lot of runs scored.
All right, Big B. Well, welcome aboard here. So if you have your answers for us, we're going to go ahead and ask you a few questions here, if you don't mind. So,
sure. I'm outside, so I don't got everything with me, but I'll try to remember it.
All right. Okay. So, right now we're just talking about, the top 5 best MLB managers of all time. So, who would you put in your top 5 list?
Ooh, that's tough. Let's see. Number 5. I'll go with Tom Kelly. He brought us 2 World Series. Number 4. Jesus. What? Oh, there's a lot out there. It's blanking me. Number 2 and number 1. I mean, I'll skip the other 2. Torrey from the Yankees, and I gotta go Bobby Cox from the Braves.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they brought so much to those 2 organizations from the '90s. I mean, you can't argue either one of those guys being 1 or 2. So, 3 or 4, I can't remember who I had, but I did have Tom Kelly at number 5. So
we never vote for Yankees. Brendan.
So, there was a few of them that were thrown out there, like Tony La Russa was thrown out there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Tommy Lasorda.
Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda.
Bruce Bochy.
Connie Mack. Bruce Bochy. Charlie Manuel was even thrown out there, but I don't.
Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
Lou Piniella. I forgot Lou Piniella.
Yeah.
I forgot about Lou Piniella too.
Yeah, that's
and Bobby Valentine just for the mustache and the glasses.
J-Mac, if you think so, the point that you were trying to make with Isaiah about his Charlie Manuel and his 2 World Series appearances, this would have been a better one. Okay, because Vic actually mentioned his name. Freddie Gonzalez won a World Series as a manager with the freaking Marlins. So, do you consider him a top 5 manager of all time, and he won a World Series with the Marlins?
Are you seriously asking me that question?
Top 5 crappiest.
No. I was saying I'm saying that's a point you could have made with Isaiah as Freddie Gonzalez.
Okay. So then let's go on that for a minute. Then Bob Brenly for Arizona, when he won a World Series and had nothing to do with it, and it was all Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson. Then Bob Brenly's a top 5 manager. Then freaking Terry Francona would be a top 5 manager. Like, the list goes on. Okay.
Well,
I do agree with Vic on the whole Bobby Valentine though, just for the glasses and the mustache comes back after he got thrown out of the game.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Then when he said his name was Bobby Valentine.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. All right, well, this topic is actually Brandon's, and this is the WNBA update.
Oh, as far as I know, there's only been a few games played. I don't have the records in front of me. I know the Lynx won their first game back, so they're staying hot. I think they're at 8 wins. If anybody else can clue me in, I'm sorry, I'm sitting outside. Everybody's trying to
You're
rustle
the
down
Liberty-
a little bit.
The Liberty won tonight.
Yeah,
Liberty
absolutely.
won tonight.
And I'll tell you
Okay.
what, my aces are still looking good.
Yeah, but they're 0-2 against the Lynx, though, so that doesn't make
New York,
any
we beat the
sense.
Seattle
But that's okay.
Storm.
Yeah.
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 How's the Indiana
Come
team
on,
doing? They're
yeah.
still in last place?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're going to be in last place all year. Indiana's not coming out of it anytime soon. I'm going to tell you that. Like,
Yeah, but the Atlanta Dream haven't played much better. The Atlanta Dream have lost 6 in a row now. So
yeah, but you're telling me that Indiana is better than the Atlanta Dream. There's
I'm
no-
not saying they're better. I think they should play a game to see who gets the number one pick. To be honest,
I think Atlanta's just dreaming that they're not the Indiana Fever.
because
so-
the Indiana Fever is 4-18. That's not good.
No,
But
no.
the Atlanta Dream is 6-15. That's not much better, to be honest. So
No, but I still think Atlanta's a little bit better than Indiana, and I'm just saying, like, Indiana's been a real stinker since the very beginning. Atlanta just started going on the downhill slide.
I'll say, and
did that
Indiana's won three in the last 10. They're 3-7. Atlanta's 1-9. Atlanta's
Yes.
1-9 in the last 10.
I'm
So
just saying, yeah, Indiana's just not. So Brandon, to answer your question, Indiana's not coming out of it.
I
this
know. I was just joking. I knew that.
Yeah, Indiana, Atlanta, they're definitely not. You're going to see your
Yeah,
top.
I wonder if Atlanta would be any better with Will Smith shooting the ball than
Shut
Braves
up,
would be
Shut
with
up,
him.
Brendan!
Oh,
there it is. I've waited for that all night, by the way. Shut
I had
up,
to figure out-
Brandon!
I had to figure out
Speaking
some way
of
to
that-
throw it in there.
speaking of that though, here's the thing.
Speaking of what?
I saw this today that I thought it was funny because, it's one of those fake memes on Facebook. Well, this one said, "Look, Tim Tebow, he signs with the Lakers," and then somebody's like, so it was a joke, and then somebody's like, "Well, heck, why not? He's tried everything else."
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's tried everything else. He's done baseball. He's done football. He might as well go try basketball. I mean, it can't hurt.
I'm honestly surprised though that I'll be surprised if the Raiders don't sign Tim Tebow. Just to be honest, because you always got
Let's go
John.
play hockey.
Well, just because you got John Gruden, that's always like, oh yeah, but I mean, I could turn him around. I can make him a better player.
So we
you
actually
teach him
have
how to
Because you got Spider 2 Y Banana is the key to the whole thing in Las Vegas.
So we actually have a comment here from Christopher Levins that goes to Big B, who says Christopher Levins says, shows what I know, Big B. I did not know that the St. Paul Saints became an affiliated club because they've been an independent team for a long time. So
Yeah, they have been. This is the first year they did. MLB did some realigning to get their AAA ball clubs closer to the AAA or the Major League team, just so they have better access to them if they need to get them into the gate or call them up quicker. So this is the
'Cause
first year it's happened.
It was because of COVID.
Oh yeah, it was a COVID-driven
Yeah.
thing. So yes, the Saints are now affiliated with the St. Paul St. Paul Saints are affiliated with the Twins now. Yes.
Okay. Well, like, that was something new because, like you said, this is the first year it's happened. So
Yep.
a lot of people probably didn't know
And
that.
I don't think too many teams took that offer. I could be wrong, but I know the Twins did. I mean, it's like a 20-minute drive now from St. Paul Saint Stadium to the Target Field.
So did Houston, by the way. Houston's AAA affiliate is maybe the best name in all of AAA. I'd have to look them all up to see it, but I'm telling you that Houston's AAA affiliate is called the Corpus Christi Hooks. Like that is a name. That's a great name. And I know that because I played Major League Baseball, the show, on PlayStation, and I played for the Corpus Christi Hooks in AAA. So
Well, so
I
speaking
played for
of
the
names-
Trash Pandas. I don't know who they were with though.
So
That's
speaking,
awesome. That's an awesome name too. Trash Pandas.
So speaking of names, though, so it came out that they're down to like the final 3 names for the Washington football team. I don't know if you saw that, but the 3
Oh, no.
names. So the 3 names that they're down to now, they are down to it's 4 because the 4th one that they're down to is the Washington Monuments. That
Oh.
that's the 4th one that they have on there. They are also down to the Washington Lincolns,
Oh Lord.
and then they have the Washington Renegades.
Getting
and
better.
Then,
I like that one.
and then they also have the Washington Hogs.
Hogs as in pigs?
Like that's
Hogs.
any better than the Redskins.
Hogs.
Yeah. Darn it. Coast to Coast Entertainment didn't make the cut.
But Vic, the only difference is the Washington Hogs. That only offends fat people, and nobody's cared about fat people for years. So
Well, if
Right,
they're like major defensive line, they call the Hogs.
it was their offensive
Yeah.
line back in the
Offensive
80s.
line.
Yeah.
But still, like nobody's
Yeah, but-
nobody's
no.
cared about fat people for
No,
years.
but-
So no
but
one
that-
cares if they're offended.
but that's where they're.
I mean,
getting
they
the
should
Hogs.
because we keep the food industry alive. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Because of
that-
me, McDonald's has a job.
But that's where they're getting the Hogs from though. They're getting the Hogs from the old, what
I know where they got it
Washington.
from.
Yeah,
I was
But
being
I
sarcastic.
I'd vote Renegades.
I vote Renegades.
Renegades.
say-
would
I'd say
definitely be
Renegades
better,
on that.
because I'll tell you, I don't think the Washington Monuments would definitely be a good one,
No.
No, that's stupid.
and I don't think that the Washington Lincolns would be a good
That's
one.
horrible. Why not just do the Washington cherry trees
Right? It's-
or the Washington dollar bills?
I don't know. I'm just like, man, that's horrible. So
Nah,
Ivy's
Renegades
here
would, I think
saying,
would be the
Hey
best.
guys, yeah. So she's saying, "Hey guys, how's it going?" So, hello, Amy. All right.
Hello.
So yeah, so I really hope that they go with the Renegades out of those 4. Just saying,
Yeah, that would be good.
or just
But
flat
we
out,
like it so that they won't choose it.
or flat out stick with the football team. I mean, I don't know. It's better, but they voted for the best logo in football and the worst. And the worst logo in football that they voted was actually the Washington football's team. They said was the worst logo in football.
Well, yeah, it's just
Do
a
they
W.
even
Isn't
have
it?
a logo?
Yeah, it's just a yellow.
But that
W.
lost. You're telling me that lost out to a brown helmet?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Or
surprised
the
they lost out
Bengal
to
or
the
the
Green Bay
Tiger stripes.
Packers logo. I mean,
Brandon!
So this is what they said. They said NFL teams by category for the 2021 season. They said
okay.
so they started out with the best overall team because they were the Super
Chargers.
Bowl champ. They said it was the Buccaneers because they won the Super Bowl.
No.
They said the worst team in football is the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
They
Oh,
said
we're not talking logos.
They said the best offense in football is the Chiefs.
Chargers.
They said the best defense in football is
Not the
Washington.
Chargers.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Washington.
Yeah.
They
I
said
don't know
the
if I
most,
agree with the best offense, but
they said the most overrated team in football is the Miami
Green Bay.
Dolphins. They said the most underrated team in football is the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh my ass.
Wow.
Have they met Kirk Cousins? Have they watched him play?
did they see the defense last year?
They said the best logo in football is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Agreed. I've always loved the teal
Yeah.
and that's definitely the best.
A lightning bolt.
I actually like the old school Buccaneers logo. I thought that was pretty neat.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the orange pirate.
Yeah.
And then that's
Hi,
when the-
matey.
and that's
Shiver me
when the
timbers.
worst logo comes up. The Washington football team, the new playoff team they have is the Chargers.
I agree.
That's
Yeah.
the
I agree.
one. They said missing the playoffs. So this year, missing the playoffs, the Chicago Bears.
Cowboys.
Yep, I agree with that. Chicago Bears missing the playoffs. Yes.
The most surprising team they're saying this year is going to be the New Orleans Saints.
Surprisingly, how bad they suck.
That was my thinking.
That's not a surprise.
They said the most,
Cracker Jacks come with that.
They said the most disappointing team this year is going to be the Cardinals.
Oh.
Have
I
they
don't know
not
about that.
seen who's on offense for the Cardinals? I mean, I don't even like the Cardinals, and they're gonna.
Then they had the most drama as the Packers.
Duh.
Agreed.
They had the first head coach firing. They said is going to come from the
Detroit.
Bengals. No, the Bengals.
Ooh.
The best uniforms is the Chargers.
Ooh, yeah.
Those baby blues just do something for you. I'm telling you.
And
The
then,
baby blues are nice.
Those powder blues are just unreal.
and then the very last one we have, the best stadium that they voted in football, they have the Dallas Cowboys.
Shut up.
Have they not been to Vegas or
That's-
SoFi?
that's-
I was
the
gonna
two
say
new
Vegas or U.S. Bank. Go, Ace. Do you have the whole list for the logo one?
The whole list?
Yeah, for logo.
Did they give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No,
or just
no.
top
All
one?
they said was
Oh.
this is the best one. They didn't.
Because
say which one.
honestly,
So
I
best
ain't
and
gonna
worst
lie.
dressed.
The Minnesota logo sucks. That stupid horn. I ain't gonna lie. I've been wanting them to change that for years.
No, but even Chris is saying it's an orange helmet. So when you're talking about the Cleveland Browns, it's like it's an orange helmet. How is that?
Yeah, you're right. It's not even brown.
Yeah, it's an orange helmet. And then you have the Steelers with the logo on one side, their other side's blank. So
I would take that over the Vikings logo. I mean, the Vikings is just a stupid horn. I mean,
right? So we're gonna come to the next topic, which comes to Vic. So Vic, this is your topic.
By the way, Vic, you'll like this one thing I want to say before you go on your thing. I want
Okay.
because it's about Justin Herbert.
Okay, it better be good.
Yeah, so there was two
Okay.
pictures of Herbert. It said that Herbert before his rookie season was, "I'll have her home at 9:00, sir." And this year he's, guess what? She calls me daddy too.
Went from the buzz to the long, yeah.
Right,
To the
right.
locks. The beautiful
So-
locks.
Vic's topic is this day in history, and she
This
told
day
me
in
before the
history.
show started. She said she has a good one. So
I
I'm
do.
curious to see what this good one is going to be.
And it's quite ironic, and this is irony in its finest, that we talked about the top 3 pitching staffs voted upon, because on this day in 1998, his Cy Young season, Greg Maddux won his 200th career game, beating the Giants at Turner Field 8-4.
Oh,
Yeah. So in
His-
98, his ERA was 2.22. He had 9 complete games, 5 shutouts, 251 innings, gave up 45 walks, which is a little bit more than, the 14 he had in 93 or the 7 he had in 92. Only gave up 13 home runs. Will Smith's done half of that already in half a year. In less innings.
so you're saying he's Cy Young candidate?
204 strikeouts. I mean, he was All-Star Game, Cy Young. I mean, what else can this guy do than just be awesome? He was 32 years old. 32! 9 complete games. That's unheard of now.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to pitch 9 complete games
No,
anymore.
no one's gonna do that.
Nobody's going to give up 13 home runs all year.
And
All
wasn't
year.
he almost a Gold Glove every year at pitcher? I
He
mean,
won a
oh,
Gold
yeah.
Glove that year, too.
yeah.
He
yeah.
pitched 34 games in 98.
Which
34
you're not.
games.
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of
No,
now.
I'm gonna see a lot of that now.
No.
You know, but I think Vic. On top of that, my favorite Greg Maddux story is they're asking him they were talking to him about, well, what do you think about the whole Astros cheating scandal? And he's like, my day, I didn't care. I'd stand there on the mound and I'd be like, here comes my fastball, try to hit it, and I'd throw it right by you.
And his fastball wasn't that dominant.
No,
He just knew how to place it.
he just painted the corners.
That's something that pitchers
He
don't
was a
do
magician.
nowadays.
I'm surprised he's not a coach somewhere professionally.
Me too. Because
Yeah.
they showed a picture. They're like, I asked Greg Maddox to paint my house, and they had the whole house, and it just the corners are painted.
Yeah, that's great. That's how that one.
Yeah, he needs a coach. He would be a phenomenal pitching coach.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
God.
So,
Well,
Brandon,
I
I
was
didn't hear those
magician.
guys.
Brandon, if you missed it right before you came on, I was talking about why Bobby Cox was a great manager, and so they listed the top 5 pitching staffs of all time, and it was the 93 Braves were 5th, the 95 Braves were 3rd, and the 98 Braves are number 1 of all time.
Yep.
And in 98, Maddox won the Cy Young, Glavine finished 2nd, and Smoltz finished 3rd. Like that, they had the best 3 pitchers in baseball.
Guys.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah, I would
tossing Steve
argue
Avery
that.
in the mix there.
yeah.
Steve Avery.
Hey Ace, you have a fan, Shardel Gupta.
What's up, Chardell? Long time no see. You haven't been on for a while. I'm doing good, Chardell. How about yourself? It's great to see you again. So, with that though,
Oh man.
like, it's interesting though because it's not, to me. It's not even. I know it might sound close when people are talking about would you rather have Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, or Greg Maddox. At that point, if you had to pick somebody to be your ace, it's obviously Maddox.
Yeah.
It is. But
Smoltz is a close second, though. I mean, as dominant as a starter as a closer. The dude
Oh
had
yeah,
all the
I mean,
tools.
they had a thing on the Braves, one of the Braves sites the other day that said if you had one inning, one shutdown inning, you have a 1-run lead, and you need to shut down the 9th inning. Who you bringing in? And they listed all these, and it wasn't even close. It's Smoltz every single
Smoltz.
time.
Oh, yeah,
I
Smoltz.
wouldn't.
Really?
You got 1 inning in the 9th inning. I'm bringing in Smoltz because he's not giving up nothing.
so Big B
Over Rivera?
Well, no. You probably
Oh, yeah.
you might have forgot that Smoltz was a starter, and then he
Oh,
became
yeah.
a closer. So he's like the only pitcher to ever have over 300 wins and 300 saves. So
Oh no, I'm not saying he wasn't dominant, but
He's still 5th all time in a season with 55 saves in a season.
oh yeah,
Like that's insane. Yeah.
but
And it was 55 out of 55 that year too. Like he didn't blow a save all season.
God,
all
I
right,
missed
so we're gonna roll into our next topic here, which is J Max, and we're gonna
Rolling with my
keep rolling.
homies.
So we're gonna jump into J Mac here. So J Mac, this one is yours. This is your spotlight player. So who do you have for us tonight for your spotlight player?
Well, we're going to keep on my theme of listing off players that are better than Troy Aikman and why Troy Aikman doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Because I just love going on this topic because it's just so true. Like you look at all these other players. So the player we're going to go with tonight, actually he was drafted in the 5th round by the Patriots in 1975. Let's see, he played quarterback for them. In 1978, he ran for over 500 yards on the ground as a quarterback. And he led the team. For that season, they ran for 3,156 yards in a season. That was the NFL record until it was broken by the Baltimore Ravens in 2019. So they held that record for, 33 years before it was broken? Think about that. That's kind of crazy. And he played for the Patriots. I've already mentioned that. So for his career, he had 26,886 passing yards. But he also had 2,176 rushing yards. He had 35 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. And again, this was back in the 70s and 80s. He had 182 career passing touchdowns, which is 21 more than Troy Aikman. Okay? So does
Troy
anyone...
Aikman overrated.
Right, he is so overrated.
Yeah.
Does anyone know who I'm talking about yet? Vic, any idea?
No. Keep going.
I can't say Tom Brady because he wasn't born then. So
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Tom Brady.
He played for 16 years for the New England Patriots. 16 years from 1975 until 1990.
Brogan?
He played for the Patriots. Steve Grogan, you got it.
Grogan.
wow.
Steve Grogan. Steve Grogan has more career touchdown passes than Tom Brady. So, did anyone hear that? And I just want to repeat that so that all of everyone that's listening right now can tell the NFL Hall of Fame that Steve Grogan, who will never sniff the Hall of Fame, has more career touchdown passes than Troy Aikman, who was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, no, but and yet again, I completely agree that his numbers were way better because Troy Aikman was definitely overrated. But I think that the biggest thing going against Grogan is that they're going to look at Troy Aikman and says that Aikman has these. And that's the biggest problem is because he has these. That is the biggest one. And that's why they're going to look at that and say, that's why he's in the Hall of Fame and Grogan
And you're
isn't
not.
because of that. And
I'm not saying Grogan's a Hall of Famer. I'm just pointing out the fact that his numbers are better than Troy Aikman's, who is a Hall of Famer. So,
Oh, there's probably tons of quarterbacks. I mean, Tebow's numbers could probably be better than Troy Aikman's. I mean,
that's a little
Drew
bit of a
Bledsoe.
stretch.
Ryan Leaf has better numbers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've already gone there. You might as well say Jamarcus Russell. But
But he didn't watch the tape.
that might be my favorite NFL story of all time, by the way.
That is a good one.
That they gave him blank tapes and he came back and said, "Oh yeah, I watched the Blitz packages."
Yeah. I watched it. Yeah.
Well, now that everybody's super excited here and we're towards the end of the show, this is Big B's favorite part because his teams are so good. Because your teams are so good that now we can jump into our GM game.
I'm not even mad that I lost a 4th place team to a 5th place because I hate the Nats that bad. I just want them to always lose.
And I'm saying, keep in mind though on this that last week Vic and Chris were both tied at 21. I had 19. J-Mac was dropping off. I think he was at 16, and then Big B was at like 15 or.
Well, yeah, because the Mets are free falling.
Shut up, Jesus!
'Cause I'm free.
So are the Red Sox, by the way.
Free falling.
Yeah, they're free falling too.
Yeah.
They're free falling. So, but the good news for you though, J-Mac, is that even though you have Houston that's in first place, they may have lost 4 straight, but the Oakland A's, who are 2.5 games behind them, have also lost 4 straight. So
How is that good news for me?
because Oakland has not had a chance to catch up to Houston because they've
There you
lost
go.
4 straight also. So that's
Okay,
why
well,
it's good news.
2 weeks ago we're sitting here and I have 3 first place teams and 3 last place teams. Okay, now we're looking at it. I have 1 first place team and no one else above 3rd.
And you're still beating me.
I don't know how. If that's true, I don't know how.
I think my highest team is Philly at number 2. I mean,
So, hold on. So we have a few comments here. So Christopher Levins is saying, Trent Dilfer has a ring, for God's sake.
That's true.
Yeah, he does.
That is true, he does.
And Chris is like, I should have prefaced that by saying that I don't have a Super Bowl ring.
well, Brad Johnson has one too. I mean,
All right, so so J-Mac, we're gonna go ahead and we'll start.
Jared Lorenzen has a Super Bowl ring.
He's got 2 of them actually. Yeah, he's got 2.
Is
The
it
hefty
David Carr?
David
has
Carr
a
does
ring?
too. They were both behind Eli Manning for the Giants.
So with
the hefty
that
lefty
being-
behind. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, J-Mac, this comes to you. So let everybody know how your team's doing.
Let's add it up, J-Mac.
I got 3 for the Red Sox. I got 2 for the Twins, so I'm at 5. And then I got 5 for the Astros. So I'm at 10 in the
10.
You gained
AL.
a point this week.
Double
though,
digits already.
in the AL.
Yeah, double digits already. But then we'll go to the NL side, and that's why I hate this stupid game. Because as Brandon said, yes, the Mets are free falling, so now I have 3 points from them.
13.
And then, well, I have 2 points combined for the rest of my teams because I have the Pirates and the Diamondbacks. And let's just say, so the Diamondbacks have won 2 in a row, and they're 5-5 in their last 10 games.
And they beat the Phillies, so we like that.
Right, but they're still
Oh,
15.
don't like that.
But they're still
Yes,
15.
we do, Brandon. Shut up, Brandon.
They're still 15 games out of 4th place.
Yes.
So J-Mac has a total of 15 points. So he's actually dropped one since last week, and that was simply because the Red Sox are on their free fall and the Mets are on their free fall right now.
Mm-hmm.
The tones are coming.
Although Baltimore's lost 14 in a row.
Yeah, who has that team?
It's like, oh my God. So
I do not have that team.
Crispy Bacon, this one comes to you. How are your teams doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Toronto has 2 points. Detroit Tigers has 3. And Oakland Athletics have 4 for a total of 9. Atlanta Braves has 5 points.
You're welcome.
Chicago Cubs have 2 points. And the San Francisco Giants have 5 for a total of 12. So,
21?
You're
yeah.
21.
So I was down 1. But,
Blackjack.
So he's still at 20. No, because you were at 21 last week.
oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
you're still at 21 this week. So Levic, this comes to you.
What?
Yeah. Whoa.
What? All right, I got the Rays at 5 because they're first place team. Then I got the Indians at 2nd, so that's 4, so that's 9. And then the unbelievable Seattle Mariners at 3rd, so that's 3, so that's 12 points.
Well, you only need 2 to beat me.
And we have the Nationals at 2.
Holders are 2.
Right, 2.
And you still got 2 divisions to go, and I got the last place teams in those divisions, so
What was that? What am I at now? I forgot.
14.
you're at 14.
The Central, I have the Reds at 2nd, so that's 16.
No, that's
And
18.
18. That's what I meant. And then the Padres at 3rd, so that's 21.
So she's still at 21.
Still at 21.
All right. Big
Coming
G.
for you, Chris.
Well, I know Baltimore's in last. The Royals are in last. Angels are in 4th, so that's what?
That's 4
5?
points. 4.
4 points? Ooh.
4 points.
I got, Philly in 2nd, so I doubled my points there.
You got 8.
In the Central, I have the Cardinals. That should be 3 points, right?
That's 11.
Yeah, that's 11.
Yep. And then I got the Rockies in 4th because J-Mac has the Diamondbacks.
So you got
Oh.
13.
We're 1 point apart.
It's gonna be the Central. It's gonna be the AL Central. Whoever finishes last will lose this competition.
No, because I have the Red Sox and the Mets, and they're both probably going to fall to 4th. So don't worry. Don't worry.
Don't worry, he's coming up on it.
Well, J-Mac, I don't think you have to worry about the Mets because the Mets are still 8 games ahead of the Nationals. So I don't think that they're falling that far. And then the
Yeah, I
Red
think you're
Sox.
okay.
Well, the Red Sox are only 4 games ahead of the Blue Jays, so that might be a problem there.
Yeah, and 2 weeks ago they were 9 games ahead of the Yankees. So let's not even talk. Let's not even pretend.
Yeah, they are definitely on a free fall right now. But how this was a very interesting stat that I saw today that they were showing on MLB tonight. They were showing a stat about the Rockies. So they actually showed that the Rockies at home. When they play at home this year, the Rockies are 41-21 when they play at home. When they play on the road, they're 14-41.
Oh my god!
So they have some sort of problem that they can't figure out. when
That's
they're playing on the-
fantastic.
It's the
So
air
I don't-
quality.
So
Air quality.
So they have something to figure out, but they're 14-41 playing on the road. Oh, correction, they're 14-45.
Oh,
You
On
gave
the
them more
roads.
credit than they deserved.
Yeah, so they're pretty bad on the road. They're tied with the worst record on the road with the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. The Orioles have a better road record than the Rockies do.
That's fantastic.
I would have laughed if you told me Diamondbacks had a better road record than.
No, but they are tied with the Rockies with their
No.
road record, and the Rangers are too. The Rangers are not much better. The
No.
Rangers suck too.
Yes.
Like they're bad. But anyway, so we'll finish this up with my teams here. I've got the Yankees who are sitting in second place, so they got me 4 points. I've got the White Sox, which let's say they have the Central pretty much wrapped up. Nobody's
Yeah.
catching them. They're like 12 games ahead of the Indians right now, so the Central's pretty much done. So they have me 5 points, so that's a total of 9. And then I've got the stinking Rangers who are sitting in last place. They're not coming out of last place anytime soon, so they have me 1 point. So that's a total of 10. And then I have the stinking Miami Marlins who are sitting in last place. So
But we're okay with that because they're losing to the Braves.
yeah, I'm okay with that because they are losing to Atlanta, but our series is now over with the Marlins. So, so that's 11, and then I have the Brewers, who are in first place. So that puts me up to 16, and then I've got the Dodgers who are sitting in second place. So that puts me at 20. So Chris and Vic, I'm coming for you guys. I'm sitting at 20. I got 20 points. You guys are at 21. So I'm riding this ship, and I'm going to take it. Huh?
Embrace it.
Yes, embrace it.
Embrace.
All I need is the Marlins to be in fourth place, and then Washington
No!
to drop to fifth. Washington drop to fifth, and
No!
Marlins to the fourth. Then I'll be okay with that. Because I think right now the Marlins they're only
Well, you
Which
get
would
the
still be
Yankees
the
in
same.
first.
1.5 games behind the Nationals at this point for fourth place. So I'm cool with that. But that brings us to the end of the show. So J-Mac, I'll start out with you. You have 30 to 45 seconds to wrap up and say whatever it is you want to say.
Oh, I want to say that, I didn't expect much out of Charlie Morton this year for Atlanta. But I believe he got his 12th win of the season tonight. Am I right, Vic?
He's rocking it, man.
12
No, thank
wins.
you. No
That
thanks
put
to this guy or this guy.
right.
This guy
But
or
12 wins. 12 wins for Charlie Morton puts him in the top 5 in the National League this year for wins. I did
Worth
not
it-
expect
worth
that
every
before the
penny.
season started.
Mhm.
He's been our best free agent signing this year by far.
Yes. Amen.
All right.
And thanks for watching.
Chris P. Bacon.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. I was gonna put, if I was doing top 5, you guys named some of the names I would have picked, but one of them I would have chosen was Keyshawn Johnson. He was a Buccaneer for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But he was a
So.
Trojan before that. We don't like him.
But thank you
You
guys
laugh
for
like
watching.
I'm not serious.
No, I know you are.
I know you're serious.
But thank you guys for tuning in.
And
Make
then,
sure
of
to watch
course-
Coast to Coast.
And then we have Big B.
Just thank you. I'm glad I got to jump on for the last half hour ish. I saw a great baseball game. A lot of old school style bunting. The Saints did a double steal. Were successful. Extra innings. Saw the runner on second. I don't really care for that. Saw them use the pitch count clock. I don't think it really affected the game that much. It was kind of cool, but outside that, it was nice to sit down and watch somewhat of old school style baseball.
All right, and then of course, we'd like to thank everybody for watching. Of course, another episode of Sports Minute right here on the show. Oh, Vic, I'm sorry, Vic. Go
Good
ahead.
grief. What do
My
I
bad.
gotta do? Two
Root for
things I want
somebody
to put
else?
out there. My friend Johnny is in the hospital right now, so any prayers or thoughts, well wishes for him would be awesome. He needs good vibes and good feelings. Second thing, my friend Jenny Wilson, she is 46 years old today. She's going to hate me because I said the age, and I don't care because you're 46 and fabulous. So happy birthday. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Hey, go ahead. Sorry, Vic. Thought you were done.
Thank God Will Smith got one out tonight. Thank God we traded Alex Jackson to the Marlins, who struck out for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, have a great night. Thanks, everything.
Real quick before you finish, Ace, I got to say today is Dennis Rodman's 60th birthday. Hats off to Dennis Rodman. By the way, let me just read this real quick. This man headbutted a ref, smashed Carmen Electra, married Carmen Electra, took a private jet to bang Madonna, married himself, became a wrestler, joined the NWO, had Hulk Hogan as a tag team partner, did an action movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, won 3 championships with Michael Jordan, became best friends with the North Korean dictator. Say what you want, but Dennis Rodman, you are a legend of a man. That's a hell of a life, bro.
One part of that.
What's that?
He kicked a photographer.
Yep. He did. You're right.
Oh, he did.
But
don't
say what you want, but Dennis Rodman, that's a hell of a life, bro.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's a cool ass life, man.
and don't forget that one ridiculous streak he had in the playoff game to where for 4 straight games he had 0 points, but with the 0 points he had 28 rebounds, 25, 26, and 27.
Oh yeah,
So-
Rodman wasn't a scorer.
No.
He knew his
I was
role and he
bonus.
did it well.
Yeah, but imagine having 28, 26, 27,
He wasn't-
26 rebounds in a
He
game.
was what, 6'7"?
Huh?
He was what, 6'7", 6'8"?
Yeah,
Something
but
like
that.
imagine
Very
having
tall.
that many rebounds in a game.
I don't think he was
Imagine
that tall
having
compared to the centers, but
No, he
Imagine
wasn't.
having
Not the
that
board.
many rebounds in a game. Like that's
His
Oh, yeah,
hair
no,
scared
he
him
was-
away.
yeah, he was.
That's because it's not the soft NBA like now. Like you
No.
went down there to get a rebound, he was flinging elbows
Oh, yeah.
at everybody to grab that rebound.
I take him as a rebounder.
right? Yeah, he's definitely one of the best to ever rebound in the game, for sure.
For sure.
But thank you for watching. Everybody have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Speak Out. Have a good night.